Today we are in NEO SPCC headquarters, and it's a special day because we are officially launching the Panel FS Neo org website, which is a front-end UI that allows you to manage containers and your objects and do deposits, withdrawals, things like that. We have previously done a demo of it in 2022, back when the project was actually started, and it was developed alongside with the REST gateway. So we have new FS layer and then the REST gateway, and then on top of it sits this UI front-end layer that is developed by Mikhail Petrov, who is here with me today, and he will tell us about things that have changed since then and then make a tour. So please tell us what has happened since 2022.
Yeah, we have a big update for today, and we have a new design, edit support for new Neo wallets, and also you can share your object with token by other people. Yeah, and the main thing, this is available in production right now, and you can try it.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at it.
The first thing you can see in the panel, it's the login page. And first of all, unlike SendFS, which work with testnet, but in panel we used only mainnet. And we support different wallets, same set as supported by most of community sites like governments. They behave mostly the same, expect two things. Clicking on Neon wallet will produce a pop-up that might be blocked by your browser, so please enable them for Panel FS Neo org. That's the way Neo connection works now. Due to the way OneGate wallet works, page need to be open in the browser embedded into the wallet itself. Most of the functions are worked, but as for object, you can only delete them, cause it's limited for OneGate Explorer. Otherwise, you get the same functionality for each of them. For this tour, we're gonna use Neoline just because it's a bit more convenient to switch to it on the same machine. So let's log in. Okay, now we can see the start page of our application, and we can see our address, type of extension or wallet which we used for connection, and also we can see the type of our net. We use mainnet, we can see it here. Yeah. To use NeoFS, you need to deposit some gas to NeoFS contract. For your convenience, we show you the balance you have on your account taken from the wallet. It's important to know that if your wallet is closed, which happens frequently if you are using mobile one, then this balance might fall to be updated. If that's the case, just open the wallet and it will be succeed. They're using an account here that has already deposited. So there is gas on the FS side of things. But let's do another deposit, which is regular transfer transaction that sends gas to mainnet NeoFS contract. Make a payment. We should approve it by extension, by our wallet. Transaction submitted. Yeah, it's approved in the wallet as usual, yeah. And then we need to wait for it sometimes to be accepted. We can see our transaction, and just as a reminder, NeoFS uses a sidechain of its own for internal operation. It's known as the FS chain. All payments are handled there, so then you deposit gas to NeoFS. We bridge this amount to an NEP17 contract on the FS chain. This contract adds 4 decimal to gas precision for proper micro payment handling. So if you see 12 digit after the decimal point, it's not an error, it's exactly the way it's supported to work. Now we have some NeoFS balance and can do some stuff, but before doing that, I also want to say a word about withdrawal. There is a way to push gas into NeoFS, and there is, of course, a way to get it back. But if you try doing that, you'll see this warning, and please read it carefully. Without going into a lot of details, I can just say that there is a fee associated with withdrawals to compensate for system expenses. All mainnet transactions cost some real gas. The way Neo N3 currently works, this fee is rather big. It will be reduced once the notary system is implemented in Neo, but for now that's the value. Okay, now let's move on to more interesting topics. As for creating container, we can see next panel. We can click new container and fill the gaps. Containers can be named, and while you can go without name if you are using NeoFS CLI. In panel we require you to have some name just for convenience. Otherwise you would see IDs only, and they're a bit less easy to remember. Renaming is not possible since container structures are immutable currently, and this name is a part of container data. Okay, next goes placement policy. This is one of the core features of NeoFS. There you can define the way your objects are going to be stored. You can find more details in our documentation. Here we provide two sample values, and to be fair, the most recommended the simplest free replicas one, which is fine for most users. But if you want something fancy, you can always set it here. Also, you can set some attributes here, but let's see access control panel. We have basic ACL and extended ACLs in NeoFS, but as you may notice, panel doesn't currently allow you to play with basic ACLs. Because of the way authentication and token work, we could do this, and early version of panel actually allowed to do this, but this then broke the some panel functionality, so we decided to simplify this for now. You have complete control over ESL here, however. You can put any rules you want, and we provide two basic sets for them. One for private containers where no one but you can access objects, and the other for publicly readable ones. Whatever you choose, you can always change these rules later. For this tour, we are choosing more private option to show some additional panel feature. And now the most interesting stuff probably. Below you can see two buttons unlock some functionality. Why do we have them? Because it's decentralized application and you are still in full control. Remember that we just connected the wallet earlier, but this doesn't mean panel can do everything without your explicit authorization. There is no way for it to act on your behalf unless you sign some specific time-limited tokens for specific operations. Here we need two of these tokens because technically container creation and ESL setting are two different things. The process is very similar to how you sign transactions. Let's do that. Firstly, we can sign the first container operation and the second one. Now we can create a container and we do that. It happens sometime because we should create a container as set ESL. Okay, then you got a container, you can click on them and see some metadata here. ESL parameters, you can update it here. And also attributes, some system attributes, and you can set some specific one. Then you click on objects, you'll be required to sign one more token because you are still in control, and the panel can't help you unless you do this. This time it's a bit simplified because the token you sign allows for any object operations. If you are using panel, then most likely this is the thing you do often, and at some point we decided that per action token signing might be too irritating, so it's just one token per container. Let's sign it. Now we can see our objects. Right now we can create a new one. Choose our specific amazing cat and create object. When you are creating the objects, you can specify the attribute. For example, you can specify the file path attribute and set some parameters. Let's create it. We can see a tree view in object panel. In NeoFS, we use flat object storage structure, but on the front end, we use special functionality to show tree view using file path attribute. Now we can click on the object and see some metadata and attributes and manage section. You may notice that the owner ID is different from the connected wallet address. This is because currently panel acts as a third-party service and doesn't try impersonating you. So the creator of the objects is a REST gateway performing actual NeoFS requests. This doesn't prevent you from accessing contents and otherwise managing the object, and this may change in future as the NeoFS itself evolves. As for the manage section, we can see 4 options. For getting object, we can use the same access token which we signed earlier. We can see our cat. The same structure we use here. You can just download an object for one click. We can also share the objects. For public container, we can see the link, but it's a private one. We can sign some access token for these objects. Let's sign it. Currently, this token limited for 1 day access. We will make it customizable in future. Let's open the object. We can see the same information, attributes, and also the manage section with downloading button. And finally, we also can delete our objects and all data will be deleted. We can see the all functionality of panel, and you can store the containers with objects and can manage them.
Yeah, that was great, but can you also tell us a bit about the future of this project? What's on the roadmap for PanelFS Neo org?
Yeah, some features depends on NeoFS core. We are waiting for token enhancements. We will implement it in future. Everyone watching this video can influence on it and leave your feedback in GitHub, and we are waiting for it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.